Hi, welcome to the STG podcast, where we speak to business owners, entrepreneurs, and people in fitness and wellness. Today, we have returning guest Dylan Pinder, and ever since our very first podcast, we've been discussing business, stocks, you name it. We always have really good, fun conversations, so I'm very happy to have him back. So, hopefully, today, we all learned something. Sears, Kmart's going out of business. Pier 1 went out of business. That's where I got those
they went
coasters.
out already? They went out of business?
No, they're going out of business. They're
shit.
talking about closing in August.
Sucks.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff is happening. It's weird because I didn't expect 164 businesses to close.
Is it 164 now?
That's what I was told.
Just in Key West or like the Keys?
Probably the Keys.
Even then, that's a big number.
Yeah, man. So
that's it's hard though. It in a way for me, I don't own a business like that where if a crisis happens that I have to sit there and evaluate if I can stay open or not.
Right.
But it definitely puts it in the back of my head that if I do in the future, I need to have things set up so that way if there is another crisis. I'll be able to maintain,
You have a reserve.
So I'm trying to, learn off of other people.
Right.
A wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
Exactly. So, you've been getting in stocks a little bit.
I have.
Yeah. You kind of got me into it.
Trying to.
Yeah. I had my foot in there with, I was doing Acorn, where they deposit a little bit of money at a time.
Yeah, I did that. I like Acorns.
Yeah.
Because you forget about it.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, you look at it and you got a nice chunk.
Oh.
And then you get to into the stock market.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm doing now.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't miss the money. So it's one of those things where I can then say, okay, I can play with it because.
You do the roundups?
Yeah.
In the Acorns?
I did the roundups.
So, if you buy something for like $1.72, they'll take the extra and put it into your savings.
Mm-hmm. And then you can even put a little bit extra.
Yeah.
I'll put like $10 extra every
you set
month.
up the automatic out of your... Yeah, and then, you don't really notice that little bit.
Right.
It's such a little increments of money, you don't really see it. You don't know. You don't notice it too much, but it adds up.
Yeah, especially if you're managing your money the right way.
Yeah.
I don't think I've only pulled money out of that account maybe twice because I thought that I would need to, and then it's like, nah, you didn't need to do that. You made a bad choice.
Yeah, I kind of hid the icon on my iPhone. Yeah, I put it into like a little, I don't know how to call it.
Those little groupings. Yeah,
and so I couldn't really see it, so that way I would forget about it. And then one day I was like, damn, I got the acorn. Right. And I look in it, and it was a nice chunk. So.
That's one of the things that I do. I like saving money. I like to hide it from myself, really. So,
I have to.
Yeah. Well, the thing is when you do that, it allows you to have cushion in certain places. Like, I remember having a situation where I had to pay for a rental car, and I didn't have any money like in my bank account, but I had money on like my little Bluebird card.
Yeah.
And it's basically a prepaid card. I was putting $10 in, and I ended up having like $500-600, and that's what I used until I got paid. And I was like, okay, cool. You
set yourself up. I have my money all over the place. Bro.
Yeah.
It's in Cash App. It's in Coinbase. It's in Robinhood.
Yeah.
It's in Acorns.
Yeah.
It's in my bank. It's everywhere. It's just because just a situation like that. It's just nice to have your money. Kind of forget about it. Mm-hmm. Let it work for you. Make you more money.
Yeah.
And then in a situation if you end up needing it, you have it.
Yeah. I ended up seeing nice dividends with Acorn too. Like I want to say like I made like $30 a month, maybe $40. So.
Right, you take that and you do it in a bunch of different places. It adds up.
Yeah.
Definitely adds up. Pay the car payment, It can knock a bill out for you.
Yeah.
Make your life a little easier.
That's what it's about. Like I was listening today to this kid, and he's talking about how easy it is to be a millionaire. Like, it's not as hard as you think. Like
nowadays, with all the access to the internet, everything we have,
right?
It's just
even on the level of what we put that onto a pedestal. Like, I want to be a millionaire, but we all know that $1 million isn't nothing now.
Nowadays, true. Yeah, that's true.
So he was basically just saying how millionaires would basically live paycheck to paycheck like we do, most of them, because all their money or everything that they have is in an asset. Yeah. So the reason why they're a millionaire is because they have assets. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's... You hear about it, but then the way that he was talking about it, I was like, okay. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm trying to get into these stocks. I'm trying to make money for myself. I'm trying to make my money work.
Yeah, passive income.
Yeah, and putting that money in play. And I think that's one of the things that I wish I would have done earlier. I don't think about that so much, but it's just more of, having something for the future, and building that up. And I don't think that's something that they teach in schools enough.
No, definitely not.
And how to manage your money and getting in, like...
They didn't teach me any of that in school.
Right.
Yeah, they need to start.
Yeah. And the thing is the things that I've been picking up, and as of recent, how much I feel like things are coming to me as far as business opportunities and things that I want to get into and invest in and to make my life better and my family's life better. So
it's funny that you say that, because I was just listening to Les Brown's speech, and he was saying, just know that whatever you're seeking is also seeking you.
Yes.
And that's what you pretty much were just saying. So it's so weird how when you put that out into the universe,
reveals itself.
It finds a way to make it happen.
It reveals itself.
And I told you I used to not really believe in that stuff. And once you start really just give it a shot, I mean, what do you have to live?
What's it gonna hurt?
It's pretty crazy how it works.
Yeah, no, I'm constantly coming across something, or I'll say so, and even if you don't believe in putting it out into the universe, if you say something to someone, right, and they come back with information because you said it to, that's basically what it is. It's putting it into the universe. You're bringing that energy towards you, and
you're kind of networking with energy,
right? I need to have conversations with friends and family and people who are in the same realm in order to make all of everything that we have going on, make it happen. Yeah. So the more I've talked to you, I know that you've been finding little things, and then it's like, oh, okay. And I say this a lot. You say, I'm looking for a red car, you're going to find a red car.
Yeah, you look for it.
Right. So
it's not necessarily the universe creating it like out of thin air. Mm-hmm. It's a way of, it's kind of like you're wiring your brain as well to notice the opportunities out there that you're looking for. Yeah. It's just as simple as that. It's just like awakening it in your subconscious to just notice the opportunities that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And the biggest part is to take the action. Right. And that's, a lot of people will actually notice the opportunities, but they won't take the action. Right. There's fear of failure. Mm-hmm. And that's lately, that's kind of my biggest thing, is I'm just trying to overcome all of that. Whatever I feel like I'm nervous about, or I feel like, just go out there and do it, because in order to grow, you have to put something out of reach, something that you haven't mastered, something that you don't know very well. You have to go into something brand new. Yes, and that's what I'm doing too. Yeah, absolutely. Every and you got to continue throughout your whole life. Like, it's not something, you know what I mean? Like, I got to be saying this as long as I'm living, that I got to be pushing myself to do different things and learn different things, and just try to, trying to keep the most fulfillment in my life every day. Just, that's kind of, like I told you, my main goal is to be happy. Mm-hmm. If I'm not happy, what's the point? Right. You know what I mean? I'm not going to work a job that I'm not happy my whole life just because it's stable money and I can support my family. No, I'm going to wait for the opportunity to start a family because I'm going to focus on my goals, my dreams, and do what I like to do,
right.
and try to make my living that way first, and I just think it'll be a much better route to take, a much happier route to take,
I also think that's something that our grandparents and our parents kind of instilled in us was like, security. That's right.
The biggest.
And the virus kind of showed that you really don't have the security that you think that you have, because it could be taken away.
Our freedom away.
It could all be taken away, and I don't know about you, but this quarantine it really made me realize how, like, my job was talking about furloughing people. And I don't think they've ever furloughed anybody. But if things got to that point where things got bad enough where we're not creating enough revenue, then, and I work for the government. So that's the part that's crazy. Like, when they did the government shutdown a couple of years ago and soldiers weren't getting paid, the people in the military, they were like, oh, this is insane.
I thought it was insane.
Yeah.
I went to 6B base and there was no soldiers at the gate. I was like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's no cops at the bait. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't think the government could just shut down like that. I never thought of it that way. But then, also, you realize you don't want to have to rely on them. Yeah. That's what they want. They want you to just rely on them.
Yeah, and that's not the way to be.
False sense of security and just control things, and they don't want you to go out and branch out and become successful. The way that the world is set up now, or at least our economy, is to keep the middle class man and keep the poor the poor.
I give you a wage.
Yeah,
you stay at that wage. You stay in this home for 30 years. You never leave this town.
Yeah. They brainwash us to think that's the way to live life. Right. And it's great. The saddest thing is to see how many people actually follow them. Yeah. It's just, I just don't understand. You want to know
something that's so eerie about what you just said? Or the way that this has gone. Like, my friend, he keeps writing about the sheep in the herd mentality. Like, and it keeps coming up and coming back. And I'm not big into conspiracy. Like, I listen to him and I know what's going on. It's not that. It's just like I'm focused on what I need to do. And if I'm so focused about this sheep and this herd mentality,
it's taken away from your focus.
Yeah. And I've never been a sheep at all. I always move at my own,
I feel like if you were focusing on that, you kind of would be a sheep.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You gotta just stay on your path.
Right.
Do your own thing.
Yeah, make your own things happen. I mean, be aware of what's going on, but don't let
on your own time.
Exactly.
Do your own research when you're ready.
But back to the sheep thing. I feel like everyone always follows suit. Like, hey, you gotta have the house with the picket fence. You gotta get married at this time. You gotta have a family. Like, you have kids, and like, I'm almost 30. I don't have a kid.
I don't have a kid.
Yeah.
And people look at us like we're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that was the way that our parents and everybody else were raised to do this. And there's a lot of people who now are 40, 50 and they say, hey, nah, you're doing it right. I had it all messed up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had to struggle, work 3 jobs, do this, do that. You don't know how many, like...
I hear it so often.
Right. And so, I think just doing what you need to do, everything else will fall into place as it needs to. Like,
at the right time. Man.
Yeah, at the right time.
That's another thing is I've always believed there's always a right time for something. Mm-hmm. Timing is key. And I let things just kind of... Like, I always pursue what I want. Mm-hmm. But there's also things you got to let fall in place. Right. And I'm definitely no expert in knowing, when to do either or, but I'm definitely trying, and
I don't think anybody's an expert in it either.
But if you at least try, it just makes things a little bit easier. If you kind of, you control the controllables, and then whatever you can't control, you don't stress. I really try not to stress over anything I can't control. Mm-hmm. I think is in a year from now, am I going to be worried about this? And if the answer is no, then I'm not going to worry about it now. Right. So I try to really minimize anything I stress about. Like I said, happiness is like my biggest happiness and fulfillment. Yeah. So anything I can do to avoid that stress or avoid any drama, I do.
That's the way to be. But let's get into the stocks. What was it that? Well, I know what excites me. What excites me about the stocks
is money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I love money. I love money. And the thing is that you can multiply it. Now, is it a chance and a gamble? Yes, but if it's not putting your money into a slot machine and hoping to chance. It's calculated risk. You're understanding the company. You're figuring, who's buying and selling this and doing that, and what's the new thing that's coming out. Is this company going to be launching the newest, biggest product that is going to be mass marketed throughout the whole U.S. or globally or whatever it is? So that's the part that I find fun and interesting, and it gives you conversation pieces.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it just makes your mind work as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm one of those people that I don't want to be limited. I find sometimes that I am, but it's because I'm an overthinker. And now I'm at that point where I've always wanted information. So now that I found something else that I can put my hands into, that information is coming out. And same thing where we were talking about putting things out into the universe, the more information comes my way. Yeah. So I'm looking at the ticker, not the ticker. I'm looking at the Google search thing, and then it starts giving me these news things about this company and that company, and it's not even like this is the work computer.
Yeah. Now you're noticing it.
Yes.
Because now you're dipping into the stocks, and now your brain's picking it out of the needle in the haystack. Mm-hmm. But it could have been there before. You just never noticed it. But it's
always been there.
It's you're wiring your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. You got to rewire your brain. A lot of people think you can't rewire your brain.
Yeah,
it's crazy how it's not. Yeah, I mean, I can't necessarily say it's easy, but once you get the hang of it, you can form new habits in 21 days.
Yeah. Cuz I'm so happy you said that. I'm so happy you said that because I find people come across these habits that like I'm gonna be broke. And it's like, oh, you're always broke. That's a habit for you. It's a habit for you to be broke. It's a mental habit, yeah. You think that you can't. And instead of doing little things, like you haven't researched anything about money to figure out how to move little things.
Yeah. You just say, I'm broke, and then you give up.
Yeah. But you're still buying food, and you're still doing this, and you're doing that, but you're too broke to do this. This one little thing that costs $20. Oh, I can't waste my money on that. Yeah. How am I going to make?
You can't have fun.
Right. Can't have fun.
You can't do what you want.
Yeah.
Because you haven't put the initiative to make that extra money to do it.
Best thing I ever did was figure out how to manipulate money into little things. Like if I got to use a credit card to pay bills, okay, I'll use that credit card. But then what I'll do is I will pay as soon as I get my paycheck. I pay that card off.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be responsible with it. Yeah, and then you're also building credit.
Yes.
And I assume know how important credit is.
Oh.
You walk into a dealership or you will go to buy a house and your score's over 800.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the best rate. You're getting that car. You're getting that house. You know what I mean? Things are a lot easier. It's a lot cheaper for you too.
Yeah.
Compared to 600 Beacon score going in there, getting an insane interest rate, paying way more than the original amount throughout the term of the loan.
Right.
That's just the way of keeping rich people rich in a way. They're the ones who buy in bulk and it's cheaper. You know what I mean? It's kind of should be the opposite way around.
Yeah,
but
the system was rigged that way.
Yeah, but you just got to be that person to just put that little extra initiative in to get to that point, to be one of those people. It's not impossible. You see so many stories of people going from rags to riches. Mm-hmm. And I grew up poor. I grew up really poor. Like, I mean, not really poor. I want to say lower middle class.
Right.
I mean, there were definitely times where I had no food in the fridge.
Right.
But I mean, I'm here, right? I survived, so I can't really complain. And I really, because of that, I don't think of money. Like, I don't.
No.
I really don't give a shit about money. I mean, money is whatever to me. I try to make as much as possible just because it's for comfortable living. I have dogs to support, myself to support. I got, bills to pay and shit. But to me, like, money is, I don't know. I just think it, in a way, it kind of is the root of all evil. Yeah. I mean, people do stupid shit for money. Yeah. And
there's so many ways to make money legit.
Yeah.
And that you don't have to, stoop to crazy feats.
And all these banks, banks are just robbery.
Yeah.
And it's all greed. And Wall Street, everything is just greed, And we're sitting here talking about making money, stocks and this and that.
Right.
At the end of the day, yeah, we do have to survive.
Right.
But if it was a different way, I wouldn't really mind, if we didn't have to worry about money, People, I just don't think there should be really rich people and really poor people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think
there's enough to spread around.
There's enough to spread around.
And there's ways for them to make it spread around, but a lot of people want to be comfortable.
It's greed.
Yeah.
It's just greed, you know?
Who needs $120 billion? You don't need $120 billion. You could absolutely donate that to not all of your money. I'm not saying to give, and I'm not one of those people that say, "Oh, I've made all this, so then I have to give all this back." So
No. You earned it.
Yeah, you earned it.
Yeah.
That's I'm not taking away, but at the same time, you should give back.
Yes. Yeah.
You should give back, and you should also, because that's also going to continue to allow you to give back more. If you give back, you're going to receive that same.
Yeah, and I believe in karma.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I mean, I don't know. Say what you want. I believe in it. I feel like I've seen it happen real fast before,
Oh, quick.
And I don't just do it for karma. I mean, it does really feel good to give instead of receive.
Yeah.
It really does. And if you're giving to, people who it's changing their life, I mean, that's the most rewarding thing I think you can.
Absolutely.
Helping other people in dire situations. I mean, I've been in bad situations, and I've had people help me. And to this day, I can't thank them enough. No. So to be able to give back, to do that to someone else, that's a goal.
No,
it's a big goal.
Giving back, I don't know. It's one of those things.
I don't even feel like I have given back a lot. I mean, I haven't gotten to that level yet. To me, I would like to give back to dogs. How we already talked about this. I'd like to open up a rescue and
money can make that possible.
I could hire people. You know what I mean? Yeah, I could hire. I wouldn't mind hiring people who were broke, and helping them out as long as they, worked hard and care. Honestly, I really did like that Pit Bull and Parolee thing.
Yeah.
TV show. I watched that a lot.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to do something similar because you can help people and you can help dogs. I mean, jeez.
You can't survive without people.
Yeah, and we don't deserve dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs are the best, man.
No. So
absolutely. You right now you got to build so your dog could have that yard to run in.
Yeah.
I just seen that somewhere posted up on social media, and I was like, "Yep, that's me. I got to build so I can get a nice house."
No, and going back into the way that money is going to help me do that is establishing my credit even higher. I have a pretty good credit score. It's nice. One of the things that I was going to do in order I wanted to invest. So I wanted to start doing remote house flipping. And I had an opportunity to do it with this guy. And the class cost $20,000. And I was like, shit, $20,000. Could I do it? Yeah. But $20,000, am I going to see something then? And is this class going to be worth it? And so then what I started thinking of, because that class could absolutely, completely change my life. That $20,000, but investing that into myself, that'd be great. But there's other ways that I could do it. There's free ways I could learn.
Absolutely.
There's schools that I could, little webinars, and I've been doing these little webinars. But these webinars where they have you learn a small smidget of something,
and they want you to buy into something else.
Yes. Yeah. So they'll give you 10 minutes of information. That's very great. But then the stuff that you really need, for which is the contacts, the search engines, the words, all the good stuff that they've worked hard to obtain, that's what they sell you. So
that I'm glad you just said it that way though, because I believe in something people selling you is different than people genuinely wanting to help you. I believe in building relationships that, you can help each other.
Yeah.
And there are genuinely people out there who would like to help you.
And
show you the
Find
way.
A mentor.
Because $20,000,
mm-hmm.
it's a good chunk.
Right.
You know, you could be putting that into flipping a house and getting
exactly.
started now.
Yeah.
I mean, I just believe in information warfare on the internet right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we can anything.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
I was just showing you what I was looking at just now.
Yeah,
and
you can find anything. So, I mean, yeah, it would be nice. I think most people would do that class because they're like, okay, I spent the money, so now I have to do this. I have to be disciplined because I spent the money.
It's the same thing with going to the
gym. You
should
fucking have that discipline without spending the money.
Right.
You can do it. You can do your own due diligence, and you can find out everything you need to know.
They did it themselves.
On the internet.
They didn't have a lot of these people didn't have mentors and all that.
I think that class is more for people who don't believe in themselves or just don't believe in their discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So they think, yes, you know, I spent the money. I'm gonna do it, or
You're
they think it's gonna be easy.
You're the person that I talked to when I was thinking about it because it was weighing heavy on me.
Yeah.
I even went as far as seeing if I could get pre-approved for a loan for it. I mean, I went and did it. And I knew I was going to get approved, but it's one of those things where I went ahead and did that just to say that I could do it. Not to say that I could do it, but to get to that point and say, okay, I'm a step further.
Yeah.
And after I talked to everybody and was kind of like, what should I do? Then I backtracked. And me backtracking then took me into a whole nother realm.
Yeah.
Because I told the guy, and you know, he's a pretty. Everybody's got their own game, you know. But I talked to him not in person, on the phone, and he was basically like, "Yeah, I understand why you're not. You got other things that you want to do, you want to pursue," and that took me into another thing for which now I'm trying to do mobile homes, and I think the mobile homes is then going to take me into the houses because there's a whole nother game in there. Like, I want to say there's like 100,000 lots in the U.S. and not a lot of people do this remote or the mobile home investing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you kind of got into it a little bit.
I did. Yeah.
But the way that they're explaining it and the little tips, these little things for which is the gym that they give you for free,
mm-hmm.
but you glance over, you hear that little part and you go past it because it's they got the class, spend the $400. No, I'm gathering info. So every time that somebody comes up with something else, they have a little course, I'm just taking little information. I take that free webinar and then I grow it. Where's my whiteboard, bro?
Yeah, you gotta write everything down, bro. Make sure you write okay. You have been good.
Yeah. Everything that I want to do is on this whiteboard.
Absolutely.
So
man.
I posted something on my Instagram or on all my pages the other day, and basically this whiteboard is how I organize everything. So my Instagram, how I'm gonna do my hashtags.
Shit, you might need a bigger whiteboard, bud.
Yeah.
You got a lot on there.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Good.
It's temporary. A lot of this stuff is temporary. It's small goals. Wipe it off once it's done,
mm-hmm.
and then I continue.
Okay.
I mean, I got little notepads and everything like that. Yeah. But
that's cool. That's a good idea.
No, it's. I think that. Yeah, bro. I think that is one of the best tools that I ever went and got because I think it's going to take me to the next level because I want to write on that whiteboard. Yeah. I want to see something go on there and get erased.
Isn't it weird how much more real it makes it when you just have it there written down? It's something with your mind. It plays a trick. Because I was doing that. I stopped. I don't know why I stopped. But every morning I would write down 3 goals, 3 things I wanted to do. And it just made it it was real. It just made it real. You're just sitting there looking at it.
Well, you're focused on it. When you write it down in the morning or if you write it down during the week, the same thing with my journal. When I write things down on my journal, I make sure that I accomplish something. And then as I go, things are getting marked off. Yeah, so as I mark those things off, then, I'll have my timeline for which gives me my whole entire year. I thought about making a whole calendar, but just doing a timeline, just little things that I want to accomplish. So
steps.
Yeah, steps.
I was trying to choke myself with goals at one point. Mm-hmm. Throwing long-term goals, throwing all this, writing a bunch down, and I was like, well, this is getting a little too much. You're getting a little, just relax, take, day by day steps, That's the key to success. Is I believe a bunch of little successful steps throughout the day.
Right.
So I kind of just slowed myself down.
You got to. You have to sometimes because you get so
hyped up.
You
get the fire in you.
Yeah.
And you just want to go out there and crush them all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to hit these goals, you got to be strategic.
Yeah.
And you got to do things in a efficient way if you want to get all of them.
Yeah.
And you won't always get everything that's on your notebook. You'll be a little upset. You'll check off some things, and then some things you won't.
Oh, there's some things that I completely skip over.
But a lot of times you can put that on to the next day.
Yeah.
And you can't hold yourself. You can't kill yourself over that. Because things happen. Like real life happens. Stuff happens. That takes up your time.
Right.
That takes up. And as long as you're trying, as long as you're knocking a few off here and there, you're winning.
The discipline to get things done, and understanding that it all doesn't have to happen now. There's things it doesn't have to happen now. It can happen a month from now, and it can still be fruitful for you.
Yep.
So. No, we're on the same page. We're on the same page about that because that's.
I think it just takes time. I think it's just really once you get older, you start to think that way because once you get older, you just have the experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're not necessarily old,
no.
but we're getting to the point now where we're starting to look back and see how the patterns of life work and like
we're seasoned.
Yeah, and we now is our time to really start making these decisions to either set our future up for success or failure, and we can either fall into these lazy habits or we can put our nose down and grind,
right.
And then we can reap the rewards in the future.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I was like, if I just started when I was 24,
if
I just started when I was 23, right now I'd be, and I don't want to say that in the future.
No. Yeah, that's one of the things that I just said earlier, that I'm not even thinking about what I could have done. I'm making it happen now because I may have fucked that up back then. I may not have. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready, and that's the reason why you didn't do it then, because you weren't ready for it, or maybe no one showed you. But
I think that's a good way. It's two sides to that coin.
Right.
You could look at it that way as well, and you got to have that balance.
Mm-hmm.
You got to kind of look back and be like, okay, I could have did this and I would be here now. Right. But you can't really kill yourself over it. You can't dwell over it, but you got to learn from it so that way in the future you don't do it again.
Yeah.
So there's kind of that balance of what we both just said. They kind of intertwine there,
Yeah.
You
know the history so you don't repeat it.
Yeah, but don't kill yourself over it. A lot of people dwell and they kill themselves over it and they think about it over and over, and that just takes away from really your energy, your happiness. And you need that in order to not commit that again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a cycle,
Unless
you have that awareness to stop yourself from doing it, you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, you got to put your energy into things that you can actually control.
Yeah.
So, if you have the opportunity to get something going, like I don't remember the last time I watched TV. It's been a while.
I'm not a TV person.
Well, I love TV. I love TVs. I love shows. I love Netflix. I love all of that. But I've found myself putting myself into my work, into the things that I want to materialize because I want them to happen. I'm not forcing them, not by any means, but I'm consciously putting my mind into that groove of understanding all that. Like,
we're grinding.
Yeah. No. And I've showed you a lot of the things that I've looked at, like the vending machines.
Yeah.
And I know that it's a hustle.
You won't have time to watch TV.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I mean, I do like movies. Don't get me wrong. I like a good movie.
Yeah.
I feel like watching TV. I'm like, what? There's life out there. Yeah. What am I doing?
Yeah.
If it's raining outside or it's nighttime and I'm before bed and I'll have something on, but I don't ever sit there and binge watch TV.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. I feel like it's brainwashing me, and I love this reality TV bullshit.
I can't stand it.
It makes people really think like they need to live like this. They need to be on that standard.
Right.
All these rich people what are they, Kardashians, all the
Yeah.
you know, like you don't have to live like that. You know, and not everyone's gonna live like that. You don't have to wear what they're wearing. It's
fake anyway. It's for entertainment. Some of
they're
those
not
people
really happy.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, don't get me wrong. They got a lot of money, so they're probably happy. But they're not genuine. Like there's a different kind of happiness.
Some of those people live in mansions that the reality TV people have put up for the TV show, and then they go home,
renting cars, rented Lambos and shit. You know.
Yeah, it's all for the looks. I don't understand it. The one show that I cannot. That the Love and Hip Hop and all of that, like it's drama.
Is it?
It's all drama, and that's what most of reality TV is. It's people fighting about nothing, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars per episode.
Because people really like get stuck on those.
They tune in, and then they watch the after show, and they watch the pre-show, and then they watch the marathon, and it's like
we're normalizing that shit.
Yeah,
that's so insane that's being normalized.
Everyone has a reality TV show,
and that's why, man, this is why our government doesn't really give a shit about us.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, you see all this stuff going, like our government's doing all this, taking our freedom away, all this oppression is because, I mean, we're not investing in ourselves enough to...
Docile.
Yeah,
you've dumbed yourself down so much.
And it's what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's what they want, so that way, not everyone can be rich.
Yeah.
They want to keep the people who are poor and keep them thinking the way they're thinking.
Yeah. Not everybody's meant to be a boss. Not everybody's meant to be a leader. And I'm not saying that I'm a boss or a leader. I'm saying that I have to
If you ain't now, you will be. Yeah. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I know when I see it.
Yeah.
If you ain't now, you will be.
Yeah. But, I just feel like I have the know-how how to make something happen, Yeah. And I have that drive and
to do it.
Yeah.
To take action.
Right.
A lot of people have the know to have, know how to do it, but
there's a lot of people who go to school and go to work for somebody.
Yeah. Really. Like, you're going to go to school. That never made sense to me. Yeah. School was not my...
No,
school was not my thing. The stuff they teach you, I mean, you are going to use a lot of it in everyday life. I don't know. I couldn't even say a lot because a lot of it's stuff that... science, chemistry. I mean, it depends what field you're in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use that every day.
Yeah.
So to me, I wanted to get right to work.
Yeah. Well, here they teach you for the test. It's not even to teach you for your future. It's not like
real life skills.
Right.
What's going to keep you afloat? They took away
home ec. They took away.
Cook, home ec is cool. Because that's real life skills. You got to learn to cook and you got to survive and. That's different. I like that. No, they need to teach you how to invest.
Yes.
They need to teach you how to think for yourself and how to not be a sheep.
Yes.
They don't teach you that.
Yeah.
They just teach you history of what, actually history is good. History is...
They teach you history, but it's a watered down history.
It's a watered down history. They don't teach you exactly what you need to know to not repeat,
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
And with everything going on recently, people are like, oh, I didn't know that happened, or I didn't know this happened. It's like, yeah. But I'm one of those people who did research after school.
Yes, me too.
I did a lot of research after school, and I had a lot of older people around me, or I would have conversations with like my grandma and my grandpa.
Yeah.
People who went through the times that we read in the history books, and they only show you these little segments, and then so. I did a lot of extra research, and I found a lot of things that are hidden, wild stuff.
I think that's what it was. I wanted to learn what I wanted to learn. Mm-hmm. So it was weird when I didn't graduate high school, and I kind of for a while it was my biggest regret. I was like, I feel like a failure. I didn't graduate high school, this and that. I don't feel that way anymore because, I don't feel like they teach you, like I said, what you really need to know and what I wanted to learn. After I left, I learned a lot about what I wanted to learn, what was going to help me out in life, what was going to put me to the next level.
Right.
So now I don't feel that way. Now I'm still glad that I took the path I took. And, you can't dwell on it.
Most of the people that own businesses here didn't graduate high school.
Exactly.
And if they did graduate high school, they can't write. Like I've seen their penmanship. It's horrible. That doesn't determine who can be.
And not
It's
at
the
all.
work ethic.
Absolutely.
It's the work ethic.
I always hate when people say product of my environment.
Mhm.
It's you're a product of your actions.
Yes.
You're a product of your thoughts.
Yes.
That's what you're a product of.
Mhm.
Because my environment was shit growing up.
Yeah.
I was living in New York and I was just had the worst. I mean, I had a shitty childhood. I did. I'm not gonna even sugarcoat it. And that's why I moved down here in Key West. When I was 13, I was old enough to get the hell out of there. I came down here.
Yeah.
And down here, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
That was a whole different world down here.
It's a whole different world.
It was palm trees and sunshine and nice people, and it was a big difference. So I could sit here and say the first 13 of my years of my life ruined me, and I know I had a horrible childhood. This is why, this and that, and make excuses.
Right.
But I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and
You're completely responsible for yourself.
Exactly. No one's going to come here and save me.
Yeah.
I got to save my damn self.
Yeah. No, I could sit here and complain like, no one ever showed me how to do this or do that. But you have to, if you want to know, you have to go and search and find. Yeah, do it. And so, I like now I'm helping my mom with a lot of stuff. Like I'm here to help her figure out a lot of things because my dad's not in the picture anymore. He's away. So now I'm at this point where I'm kind of reaching back because he did a lot of stuff for her and she didn't know how to do it.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
Yeah, financially, things like that. And
that's one thing too. Like when I've been in a relationship, I always taught a girl how to do everything, how to take care of herself when I'm not there.
Yeah, no,
because I don't believe in that standard where men should take care of this and women should take care of that.
Yeah.
Because there's not always going to be someone else there.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to take care of everything yourself.
Well,
and it doesn't mean that women should.
Right. No,
I just want her, if there's a situation where she had to,
right,
she knows how.
Yeah, she knows how to take up lead. That's how it's supposed to be.
You need
if she's going to follow your lead, she needs to know.
A boss has got to be with a boss.
Yeah,
that's it. You can't have it.
No, but with my mom, it's more of I had to kind of put her up on financial things because she didn't know these things.
Yeah,
she's used to how things were growing up.
Yeah,
and everything was
big difference now.
Pull things here and pull things there, and we're gonna pull up from our bootstraps, and it doesn't have to be that way. I'm one of those people where I learned how to survive by them, like the way that they did, by working 2 jobs and doing all this, and then I realized that I didn't need to do all this extra. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to do all that extra. There's ways I've been making. Since the quarantine, I haven't been working my second job. I've been making ways. I've been still saving the same amount of money. I've still been able to go out and eat and do things with my one paycheck. Mm-hmm. And I thought that I needed that. I thought that I needed to hustle.
You grew up watching it.
Right. And that's all I knew.
Yeah.
So now, there's other little financial tips that I've learned along the way that, I've shown her, like, how to pay down on the car. Mm-hmm. Instead of doing monthly payments, you do...
principal.
No, the bi-weekly. So
you're doing towards principal as well. It was very good. If you have a loan, a 30-year loan, you do $100 principal extra.
30 years on. What are you talking about?
Like a 30-year house loan?
Okay.
Yeah, mortgage.
Okay.
So if you do an extra $100 towards principal every month, you knock 7 years off your loan.
Yes.
Not a lot of people know that.
Yes.
You can do the same with the car. You can do the same with everything, but you have to tell them, hey, this is going towards principal. Because if you don't, they'll put it with the interest.
If you ever look at how much money you're financing for a vehicle, after all the interest...
I looked at it. I see it.
What? Oh, no. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. That's why I say banks are robbery.
How do you pay $30,000 for a $15,000 car?
That's the way to keep the middle class.
Yeah. So when I did a little bit of college, I really don't like school that much, but I want to progress. So I took little things. Same way that I do the webinars, I take little information and then I apply it.
Yeah.
So, whatever catches my ear. But that's where I kind of caught on to how the system really works. How paying down, like I built my own credit up myself by doing little things, by getting different credit cards and you know, setting my. I've been doing this for the last 10 years plus. I want to say it's been 11. Just doing little things, and that's what I'm trying to show my mom. My mom's almost 50, you know, but also I want her to be able to do little things for herself. You know, I know she likes to have these things and do all that, but I'm also doing it for my brothers. My little brothers are one's 21, he's going to be 22, and one's 14, and
it's crucial right now. You're in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's never too late to learn for your mom.
Right.
It's never too early to learn for your brothers.
Yeah.
So you feel like, I guess you have that responsibility on your shoulders, huh?
Absolutely.
And you should. If you got the knowledge, it's your fam.
Right.
You got to take care.
Yeah. No,
that's good.
Yeah.
It'll put you all in a better place, you know?
And that's
goal.
The family is supposed to build together.
Absolutely.
The family is supposed
That's
to build
the
together.
goal.
So, yeah, I mean, my mom helped me out with my first car loan, and I wanted to get out of that car loan so bad because I think the interest rate was like 20% or 24%.
Ooh.
24, I want to say.
On you.
So I didn't pay anything off on it. I paid all interest.
Yeah, that's tough.
All interest. That's all I paid. And I didn't know anything about it. And when I'm talking to the financial lady, she's like, oh, you didn't make any extra payments? I was like, what? No, I made the car payment. I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know you can do that.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was not understanding how the interest rate works, how things are compounded on you in the beginning, and then as you get towards the end.
Yeah, how you pay more towards interest in the beginning.
Right.
And it looks like you're not even touching your loan, you know? You're not putting a dent in it at all.
And so when I started doing biweekly payments, and I started to see that the interest was being cut because it's only being worked on the 15 days versus 30 days.
Yep, absolutely.
I was like, oh, okay. Now I got the game.
Yeah. You got to do little things like that.
Yeah. And again, the first car that I got before I had that car, I had my grandmother's car when she got sick. So I took over her car payments. Yeah, and then that's where I kind of learned financial responsibility and kind of got screwed over in my first deal. I had like $2,000 left on the car, and the first car that I bought, 24% interest, and then, you know, now that was when I was 21, but now I'm at that point where I can negotiate and
you will never pay 24% interest
hell
again.
No, never.
More like 4.
Never pay 24% interest again.
But at the time,
I won't even pay 6 or 5.
At the time, it made you happy. At the time, you got a car. At the time, you're driving around. You know, so it's all part of the process. It's all part of the learning process.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No. When you figure out the game and the hustle, it's like okay. When I say the game and the hustle, I mean from your standpoint of what do you want, what do you need, and you know I've seen people go around with $500-$600 car payments, and I'm sure you've seen it too. But it's like, why? Why would you pay $500-$600 for a car?
Daily amount's $536.
Yeah, but you got a truck, then, bro.
Yeah, I guess. I do have a bit higher of an interest rate than I would like, though. I do, and it's because my credit's not great. I'm not perfect. You know, I'm building it.
Yeah.
But this truck, it was. I got a bit higher of an interest rate than I want, so my payments are a bit higher. And
see, I'm not knocking anybody for it. I'm not saying that because you're sitting in front of me. I'm just saying that
I'm not so.
Is your payment that high?
My payment's $536.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it is a truck. It's a bit more of an expensive vehicle. You know, it's got leather. And
it's probably $70,000.
It's no brand new. It was like, I don't know, 48, 50, something like that.
That
so
truck is $70,000.
Yeah. it's a nice truck. I love my truck. Don't get me wrong. I love my truck. And at the time, you know, I had a boat and I was in the Charger, and I love my Charger, and I had a nice cheap payment on the Charger. I had at the time I got a great deal on that. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna step it up. You know, if I made the financial progress where I could.
Right.
So I was like, but you know, interest rate wasn't really where I wanted it to be, but it wasn't really horrible. So I took it, and you know, my next interest rate definitely won't be this one.
Yeah.
It's always gonna have to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm always gonna put myself in that position.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I'm still learning too.
Yeah. No, the best thing that I did was figuring out how to make that all happen, because I was able to buy my grandma a new car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did that, 3-4 years ago?
And what a hell of a goal that is, huh?
Bro.
Buy your grandmother a car. I've been paying my grandmother's car payments lately, but I mean, that's not buying her a car.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help her out because, you know, my grandpa passed and their income got cut.
Right.
So I've been just paying her car payment. It's nothing. It's like $300 a month. She got a little Kia. But it feels good. You're helping. You're in that position to help out your grandmother.
Yeah. Well,
it's a beautiful thing.
She gave me her car when she was and I did that to help her. But then, you know, so the first car that I bought, she dinged it into a pole because I was letting her drive my car because we only had one. And so then I was like, man, that ain't never happened to me again. You're never dinging my car. So then I went and got her own. You know, I bought it used, but it was a certified pre-owned, and I got a really good deal. Yeah. I got a super good deal on it. A little small Hyundai Sonata, or it was a hatchback.
Certified pre-owned is the way to go.
But I showed her how to get her credit, because now she's on disability.
Okay.
So she's on a fixed income. Yeah. Now you can do it with a fixed income if you can show, you know, that you're making a certain amount, whatever, or that you're getting back a certain amount. And now she went and got her own car. So I was able to get her one. So then she could then, you know, work on whatever. And, you know, it's like I said, I'm trying to help my family.
Yeah, you all gotta grow together.
Yeah. So, you know, she's 65, and I think this is her first brand new car ever.
Really? That's cool that you're able to do that, you know? You're able to help her to get a brand new car.
Yeah.
You know, something.
But see, this is why I do it. I do these things because there's so much more to life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
than these damn reality TV shows.
Yeah, that, and I think about how many other people could benefit if they had somebody in their family that knew how to do these certain things, knew how to negotiate, knew where to put the money and make these things happen. And
hopefully, even if it's just a few people who hear us talking right now,
right,
it helps them to start picking their brains.
That's what this is about.
Studying the growth, you know, and helping them, their family out, helping themselves out, you know. So that's hope it works.
Yeah. No.
You know, just to get people thinking, you know, as long as sometimes that's all it takes, just to plant the seed. You just got to plant the seed.
That's all it is, man.
You know, and you choose to do what you want to do with that seed. But I want to try to go around and plant as many seeds and as many people as I can, you know?
There's somebody who's going to hear this, they're going to hear the information, they're going to take it in, and they're not going to utilize it for the next 5-6 years, you know? And that's fine.
And there's someone who will start right now.
Right.
And they'll tell somebody.
Yeah.
And they'll tell somebody. And their family helps somebody, you know? Right. That's what it's all about to me, you know? It's not about that fake bullshit on TV, you know? No. It's about really helping each other out and get to the top. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
There's networking, helping each other out.
That's why I started that Facebook group today.
Yeah. The network.
The network. It's locals and ground roots right now. Maybe it'll get to something where it's bigger and it's actually beneficial to more people, and we can make things happen. Maybe there's a bakery that's running out of dough, and
some people can pitch in and
right,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Or maybe somebody's looking for investment partners, and someone who's maybe part of the network and configure. That's what.
So many different possibilities.
Right. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just throwing things out there because these are the realms that I'm in, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm not in bakeries or anything, but that was just an example. But
you sure you're not? I swear you're baking a lot.
Nah, I'm cooking a lot.
I know you're always cooking.
I'm always cooking. Making mahis again tomorrow night.
All right, I'll be over.
Oh man, but yeah, man. I think we're gonna wrap this thing up.
I appreciate you having me, man. That was another good talk, man.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, I hope somebody, even if it could even just be one person.
Yeah.
I hope even maybe just one person takes something from this. That's learn.
That's
This is doing is making me want to go learn some more too.
Yeah.
So hopefully one day, next time I come back, I'll be a little more educated and knowledgeable, and I'll be able to teach a little bit more about something else.
We need to
Continue to grow.
Continue and study the growth.
Yes, sir.
Astronomy, shot the riff.